Today, we have access to almost everything. We carry devices that instantly answer any question, and we've engineered environments that keep us perfectly comfortable. Yet so many of us still wake up feeling a deep sense of stress, anxiety, or an unshakable inner emptiness. When we try to solve that emptiness, we often turn to philosophy. In the Western tradition, this field often functions as an academic discipline, a mental exercise used to categorize the world into logical, abstract systems. This approach stems from thinkers like Sir Francis Bacon, who famously stated that knowledge is power. His goal was to understand nature so that human beings could dominate and control their environment. This mindset works for engineering. It built modern medicine, towering steel skyscrapers, and the global internet. However, these tools failed to resolve the problem of internal human satisfaction. We mastered the mechanics of the outside world, yet we struggle to navigate the mechanics of our own inner reality. Ancient Indian thinkers viewed knowledge differently. They prioritized internal development over the drive for external control. In this tradition, the primary goal of knowledge is to refine the self, rather than to build a more efficient machine. These schools of thought produced technical guides for human consciousness, intended for active implementation in daily life, rather than passive study. While Western philosophy translates as the love of wisdom, the ancient Sanskrit term for this pursuit is darshan. Darshan comes from the root drish, meaning to see or to experience. This definition changes the objective. Darshan suggests that intellectual data is secondary to a shift in how you actually perceive your existence. Consider riding a bicycle. You can memorize a 300-page manual on the physics of balance and gyroscopic motion, but that data is entirely separate from the physical sensation of staying upright on the road. You cannot think your way into a physical skill. You must directly perceive the balance. Reality works the same way. In the Indian tradition, true knowledge is defined as a lived, active journey of direct experience. A common misconception suggests that Indian philosophy is a single, unified religion practiced by silent monks on mountains. In reality, it is a fiercely competitive logical debate that has lasted thousands of years. Thinkers from countless schools argued over the nature of Sat, a term referring to the ultimate objective truth of reality. This chart structures these ancient theories. At the top, reality divides into two branches, Laukik, covering the physical world, and Adhyatmic, the spiritual realm. The bottom branches reveal a broad spectrum, including materialists and atheists arguing alongside deep spiritualists. These thinkers used intense logical friction to test their ideas. They believed that vigorous debate was the only way to isolate and confirm the truth. Why did they dedicate such immense intellectual energy to these debates? They were all trying to solve the problem of dukkha. Dukkha is the inherent sorrow, anxiety, or deep dissatisfaction that persists in human life. Critics often view this focus on suffering as pessimistic. They assume it creates a negative outlook on the world. However, a doctor is not being negative when they identify an illness. Naming the disease is the first step toward applying a cure. This entire logical apparatus exists for one optimistic purpose: to identify the root of human misery and provide a permanent solution. This solution aims for a state of bliss, a total freedom from the cycle of dissatisfaction. Ancient texts call this state of liberation moksha. Moksha is not a reward for the afterlife. It is a shift in perspective achieved in the present living moment. Chasing external desires creates an endless loop of wanting more power and comfort. Internal realization allows a person to move beyond this cycle entirely. In this system, knowledge is considered a failure if it does not change how you experience your daily life. Intellectualizing life is like a blind person reciting the science of a sunset without ever feeling the heat of the sun on their skin. Consider the modern stress and anxiety we discussed earlier. When you face pressure in your own life, what is your primary strategy? Are you attempting to gain more power over the world, or are you attempting to truly see it? Freedom is not found in manipulating your surroundings. It is found in changing the lens through which you experience them.